Loading intrusive.
How do I explain this? This kid David, who's basically just like, you know, a slightly wider version of Logic.
Go back in time to when my nigga daddy impregnated my cracker mama and stopped.
Is doing a science experiment to apply for a scholarship at MIT, and after he's sent in this horribly made video, MIT responds back and actually agrees to send him some money, but not enough money to, you know, give him a full ride, which his family desperately needs considering they're more broke than what's a good comparison? Well, they're more broke than me.
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga.
So these niggas are poor as shit. David decides to just try another experiment and submit for another college scholarship, and so he digs around in the attic with his sister Chris to find something interesting. After Chris finds a video camera for the first time in her life, like she's never seen one, they go through it and they find footage of David's 7th birthday.
Are you getting this?
Like the last three.
Look over here.
What was that? Nothing, I just saw something weird in the mirror.
By something weird, you're talking about the man yams that just went across the screen, right? David shows his sister the video and she reacts about the same way that people do whenever I explain this YouTube channel to them.
I don't understand.
He shows the video to his friends as well. After some moments of intense staring, they come to the conclusion that there was a fully grown version of David at his own 7th birthday party.
Tip or something, David. Family does tend to actually look alike.
All right, well then explain this. We're wearing the same shirt.
Okay, so both of y'all got weak ass fits. What's your point? So they study this video real closely. They go over time and time again, and they start to notice some of the things that David has with him, like this ballerina keychain. So everybody takes their keys out to, you know, compare it to the video, and David notices that he doesn't even have his bag. This is a completely different bag. It's somebody else's. And his friend, this creepy ass nigga, realizes that it's this popular girl Jess, and they must have switched bags. David actually turns out to have a really big crush on her, so he awkwardly approaches her to return the bag, and you know, he just proceeds to lose aura.
You trying to communicate with me telepathically?
Excuse me, by the way, my name is David. Yeah.
We've gone to school together for 4 years.
I'm really sorry, okay? I just came to switch back with you.
David.
Yeah.
Congrats on MIT.
So after school, the group sets up the camera at the same angle and tries to reenact some of the stuff going on in the video, and they figure out what David was trying to do in the video, which was go down to their basement. So they go down to the basement, they look around, and they end up finding this secret lunchbox under the floor. When they open it, it's containing this glowing cube. It almost looks like just your, you know, average everyday normal vape, because that's what the fuck they look like nowadays.
Longitudinal static stability? Hydraulic interface module. Oh wait, here we go. Project Almanac. ID number 453 Delta 71. Temporal relocation prototype?
Temporal relocation.
Temporal relocation. What does that mean?
It means time travel.
Thank God these teenagers are so familiar with quantum physics. Otherwise, this movie would be over already. So the group pretty much agree that they want to put this time machine together because they pretty much have all the blueprints for it. They go to the hardware store with very plot significant money. Like all of a sudden they can just afford all this stuff. And once they get the parts, they start having conversation about what they could do with the time machine once it's built.
On something, right? I mean, you have to kill Hitler. That's like time travel 101.
Naturally, but none of us even speak German, so...
You couldn't at least try to learn? I feel like, you know, the cause would be extremely worth it. But on the other hand, you might be cooked as soon as they find out what your name is. David. It's Jewish as fuck. It's a Jewish ass name. Now that they got all the stuff that they need, they, you know, get to work on building this time machine. This just goes to show how expensive college is. Like, niggas are willing to blow up the fucking house before paying student loans. So after realizing that they need pure hydrogen in order for this machine to work, they decide to like just steal it from their high school.
Wait, there's a security guard.
These niggas about to run a drill? I don't think that's how black lights work, unless whoever was touching that keypad last was doing some, you know, some very questionable thing. I like how she set this camera up to get a clear shot of everyone taking part in this very illegal activity. So after successfully stealing this hydrogen, they try another time to turn on this time machine, and surprise, surprise, the shit doesn't work. They sit around and they're trying to think of what they could use that could power this time machine.
Is this gonna work?
There's a good chance we're gonna blow up a car.
And you're just okay with that? Like, he said that shit so casual. So they start up the time machine, and you know, after the third time of seeing shit float and spin around, I'm starting to think that they're doing this only for ad placements.
Get that!
Yeah, we get it. Okay, Red Bull gives you wings, Jesus. So after everything settles, they find this toy car that they were using to test out the machine. They had sent it back in time a couple minutes, and they find the car has been like fused into the wall. I guess they consider this a win, so they begin to just immediately start making modifications to the machine so that they can, you know, make it mobile and use it pretty much anywhere. The next day, David's friend has to give a presentation that he did not study for.
Gun to the back of your head, name 5 DDG songs. What the fuck?
Jess pulls up on the boys and confronts them about using her car last night to power the machine, and she pretty much just ends up asking to be a part of their little Bill Nye experience, their little group.
Somebody say something.
Who starts a conversation like that? So she's talking to them, and then everybody notices that Jess's keys are the ones that David is holding in the video. And so they decide that it's time to start doing some human trials. They use themselves as the test subjects.
Full disclosure, guys. There's a slight chance that oxygen and nitrogen naturally found in the air could catalyze.
What does that mean?
We could explode.
We could what? Bro, pull over. No, pull over. I'm getting out. So the group pulls up to this little vacant spot. There's some jitters and a couple of words. They get ready to make the first jump back in time.
Let's step in.
Wait, like right now?
No, next week. We just came to this empty parking lot to talk about our feelings. They go back in time one day. Random thought, but this whole movie feels like a 5-gum commercial.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
Instantly, they decide to break one of the biggest rules of time travel, which is visiting their past selves. But I will admit, probably one of the coolest parts of this movie. So after Quinn damn near blips himself away because he locked eyes with his past self, they jump back to present time, and David gets a moment alone with Jess. As usual, this nigga's just losing aura by the minute.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got my wallet. Never mind. I thought
Thought it was on my side of the car?
No, I was checking my backpack.
So the group starts to talk about ways to use their new found ability to time travel, and they decide to go back in time and fix some of the stuff that's gone wrong in the past couple days, starting with Quinn failing his presentation.
Goldberg, let's get this over with.
Let's dance, Lou!
Since I was a kid, looking for ultimate film and the skits.
After that, they give Chris a chance to get back at her high school bullies, and last but not least, they cheat the Powerball to pull David and his family out of its financial headlock.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah.
Well, kinda.
Hey, wait, you guys do know that 1.8 million after taxes isn't enough for what you want to do.
You just said 1.8.
It was 53,876,000 in
After taxes.
You guys only got 5 out of 6 numbers.
Why did you put 44? Because that's what you put down. That is not what I put down. I put a 9. That is a 9. That's 49.
They had every chance to win the lottery and still fucked it up. By the way, I just noticed David stopped wearing his glasses. Like, does time travel just fix eyesight now? As teens would do, they go on a big spending spree with their money, and then David starts to work on the machine a little more and figures out how to make the machine go back into the past even farther. They cut class and go to Lollapalooza, which was a couple months ago. For those who don't know what Lollapalooza is, it's a music festival like Coachella or Rolling Loud, but this takes place in 2014, so this is before people were filing for bankruptcy to afford tickets. Anyway, so David and the gang just have a grand old time at Lollapalooza, just a fucking swell ass time. Just look at these happy motherfuckers. I love you guys so much. Oh my gosh, you're my best friends in the whole world. This fucking movie sucks. David uses this perfect day as a chance to finally shoot his shot at Jess, and this nigga folds so bad his sister becomes friends with her op, his unemployed mom gets a job, and his horny creepy friend has Duke Dennis levels of riz when they get back to the present. So a couple days go by and David just can't shake the feeling of how bad he fumbled Jess, so he decides to break the one rule that the whole group agreed to, which was to never time travel alone. And if there's one thing that we've learned on this channel, it's that niggas will do the most insane shit for girls, so I'm not even surprised. After countless attempts of trying to rizz up Jess, he finally gets it right, and when bro comes back, he's locked in with Jess. But because David did what he did when he gets back, a crazy ripple effect has taken place in the present, consisting of freak accidents, natural disasters, but the most prominent event that took place was a plane crash. A basketball player at their school was hit by a car, and because of this, he couldn't play in the big game. The father of this basketball player, who was an airplane pilot, went on to fly this airplane to
Can I fight for
I was doing so well. This basketball player gets hit by a car at a party, and so he's injured and can't play in the big game. The school ends up losing. Because the school loses, that means that their season ends, so there's no more basketball games. And so this basketball player's dad, who's an airplane pilot, doesn't go to these games that were supposed to keep going on during their season, and so he goes on to just fly a plane, and that plane ends up crashing. I hope that made sense. It's time travel. It gets messy.
Can I do that, okay?
We
It's
have
gonna
to,
undo
so
everything.
That's
All the
what
work
we're
that
doing. We need to undo. We gotta fix this.
I'm not even buying it. I don't even think that this.
Dude.
Well, I think the 77 passengers on that plane might beg to differ, Dave. So David, spiraling into this madness, decides to just go back in time and fix what he believes would be the catalyst of this ripple effect, which would be the basketball player being hit by the car. But before he can make the jump back in time, he's confronted by his friend Adam.
Listen to me. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's my fault. I went back alone. There.
Alone?
Yeah.
Why would you ever jump alone, David?
One word: to have sex with Jess. So after some arguing, David eventually ends up jumping back in time and saving the basketball player. But I just want to know, who the fuck was the dingleberry behind the wheel? Like, oh no, the lights are out. Let me floor this bitch. David goes back to the present after saving this basketball player, and he thinks he fixed everything, but he later finds out that Adam is mysteriously in the hospital. They don't know what happened to him, but he's just there. This nigga's crashing out in front of a hospital. Like, bro, if you don't have some decency, get yourself together. So David goes home, and after some accountant level plotting, like he's fucking Ben Affleck, he finally figures out a point where he thinks everything went wrong and plans to jump back to that time, but not before being confronted by Jess. I mean, this nigga's friends have the worst timing possible. After Jess pries about what's been going on and why he's been acting so weird, David finally just spills the beans to her and tells her everything.
That's why you and I...
Oh, Jess, listen. Listen to me. I didn't mean for this to happen. How this could feel.
You have no idea how this feels. You played me.
To be fair, bro did risk the entire world to get with you. Was it borderline psychotic? Yeah, maybe. But I doubt any other dude would go that far for you, so how about we just get some Doritos Locos Tacos and a Mountain Dew Code Red and forget all this happened. Jess blips after locking eyes with the past version of herself, so she's just, you know, gone. And this just gives David more of a reason to try to fix everything. Yeah, don't forget the camera. You still got a movie to film. The next day, the cops pull up on David at his house because Jess's disappearance.
Come on. Fast as fuck, boy. Shit. Still fast as fuck.
The fuck? How long they been chasing this nigga? It's dark outside. David beelines it for the school to get more hydrogen for the machine, and after a close call with the cops, he goes all the way back to the beginning, living through the birthday video that started this entire chain of events. He has a talk with his surprisingly calm father. He's seeing a grown-up version of his 7-year-old son who's literally upstairs, and he couldn't be any more chill. And they both agree that the time machine needs to be destroyed. David burns all the evidence in a weirdly ritualistic way. Destroying the time machine takes the movie all the way back to the start, with Chris and David digging around in the attic, and once again they find their dad's camera. Well, they find both the cameras. Now with a full step-by-step guide on the time machine in the form of this movie, the group went on to achieve many historical feats, like inventing TikTok and investing in the rap career of one up-and-coming Atlanta artist, Playboi Carti. What would y'all do if you had a time machine? I know what I would do. I'm going back in time before I ever started this godforsaken YouTube channel.
Subscribe.